sordine.
Back again, another video
On this beast.
Just we've washed it, as
Yep.
you can see in all little clips we've just done, and
Yep.
we've done a little mod, which is
Aero.
it's only the upper grill aero, but we haven't got the bottom. It's in Joel's garage. It is also.
Yeah.
So
So
we just throw that on.
I mean, it's changed the look of it quite a bit. It's weird how something so little changes it. Yeah.
I mean, you can get just like the normal copies, can't you, on eBay, pretty cheap.
Yeah. This is legitness. As you can see, it was my spotlight one. Mine had spotlights on it, so it does have the cutouts.
Could put some big rally lights.
Oh, some PIAA ones. Is that the
Cleaned
one?
up pretty well, isn't it?
Shining. Should,
Really clean. We weren't just saying it.
no.
Just thought we get a good. It's been sat a while, so it's just full of all sorts, like bird poo and all sorts on it.
It's got a few dents that it didn't have before, but
Yeah. I think my mum's been smashing the wheelie bin up the side of it.
yeah, she's a few
It's not a
blemishes.
show car
No.
anyway. Anyway, main
Purpose.
purpose of the video is we're going to talk you through and
Advise.
advise on what might go wrong or could be wrong with one you're buying. Just common problems, really.
Yeah.
There's quite a few on these old minis.
We've seen enough of them, had enough in to know now. So
We
let's.
talk about its exterior while we're outside.
Yeah, we may
and
as
we'll
well.
get back in for talk about engine and all that. So, obviously, body-wise, rust is because they're quite old cars now, so they do rust.
Just a little bit.
Main places is along this on the boot, on the actual boot lid, not on this. But this does rust as well, but you usually get little bubbles. I'm guessing from like build up of dirt in there.
We had a couple in the unit, and it literally just had holes all the way down there. Like, it was
Mine, the
bad.
last one had bubble in there as well. But
It did, yeah.
yeah. So if you've got one that isn't bubbling, just make sure you keep it clean behind the back of that, because
It just holds
it will
water.
probably
As you can see,
eventually do
it's dribbling out now. But
it. Then the rust here along the bottom of these lights. I think it's actually the later ones, so like the facelift ones and stuff.
that suffer with it
usually
more.
suffer with that more. And I think pre-face that suffer with that more, but it probably can happen on any of them. So obviously the boot rusts. They don't actually. I think they do rust along the bottom of the wings as well.
Yes,
Yeah,
they hold a bit of water down there as well.
Obviously, you can't see, but a lot of them are actually rusting underneath. They just don't know yet.
Because of the trim.
So it's worth checking and treating it if you can.
Other than that, they're not actually too bad. Should we get?
Otherwise, they're pretty good. It's not like the old classics that are just. But it's not an old classic yet. So it
Right,
might
it's
go
getting
like
there.
that. Oh,
Nearly 20 years old.
kind of a modern classic. isn't it?
Modern classic. Modern
We'll get in-
classic.
We'll get in and talk about rest.
Yeah.
Right, so we're inside the car just because it's a bit quiet, it's a bit windy outside, and we'll talk through the list.
It's a long list.
It's a long list. Well, it's probably never ending, but our list of what we know and what we've come across.
Experienced.
So, first one, which is one that's actually a problem of ours at the moment, which we've not really looked into yet, is power steering pump. It's heavy. But that's all we know at the moment, and the fan isn't working. But
Yeah.
That's our fault.
We
We've not wired it in
properly yet.
No, we snapped the plug off the end when we ripped the engine out last time. But so ours is heavy, and that's all ours is giving. It's just heavy. There's no noises, and it's not leaking. But they are common problems as well. Usually they'll squeal or
whine.
Yeah,
or...
my old Mini, there's hardly any fluid in it, so
that's the other common fault with the power steering as well. So the lines from the cylinder down to the actual pump, they are normally black.
Normally leaking.
Yeah. So that's one to look out for.
Yeah.
Does it collect at the bottom a bit?
I don't actually know. I know like the pump internally on like the electric part of it. It builds up with that much like dust on like the circuit board.
It causes fires.
It causes them to overheat and stop working, all sorts. But
I've seen a few of it.
You can clean them out. But I think it's easy to get a new one or a second on one.
Yeah.
You know it's working.
And then another one is the clutch.
Yeah.
When you buy one, make sure it's all right-ish, because it's not a big job, but a lot of places they'll charge you an arm and a leg for it, because it's like...
We've done a couple,
and we find it easy to take the engine out, so I can see if you're taking it to a garage, they will have your knickers off, because...
I've never actually got a quote from a garage.
No. I can see it being pricey.
We took mine out one night, didn't we? Changed the clutch on the engine, put the gearbox back on, and then we actually put the engine back in another night.
Yeah, it was. We did it over 2 nights.
Didn't take us long.
No, but we'd got good at engines then.
Yeah, to do that for someone else, they're going to charge you and all. So just check it's working. And
the slave cylinder.
Slave cylinder, ours was leaking. Because obviously they're old cars now, but you can see that from the front where the slave cylinder is on the front of the gearbox.
You normally see a bit of weeping going on there.
That's not so hard to change, but it's still not easy, especially on these. It is known to be a bit of a ball ache to bleed the clutch.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what next?
You got water pump leaking between the water pump and the thermostat.
Yeah, or just like a knackered water pump.
Yes. Yeah.
They can be loud because the bearings in them have gone, or they're leaking. Obviously, the actual outlet to the thermostat is the main. Just spring all sorts of leaks.
Yes, they do. It's pretty easy to see that as well. It's just coolant everywhere.
Yeah. Next,
timing.
Yeah, timing chain. That's weird.
No.
The tensioners can go, so the tension is replaceable quite easy down the back of the engine.
It's like a 20-something mil socket.
It's a large socket. You can whip it out and whip one in, but really you want to obviously
replace the full chain.
Yeah, if they're a high mileage, because of the age now, you should really be looking to buy one that's had it done.
Yeah.
Or if you bought one that's not been done, get the whole thing done.
We've done a few, haven't we now? So
yeah, it's not actually I don't think any of the jobs have been that hard on this. It's just hard to get to them. Some of them, once you've got to them, it's pretty easy.
Again, a garage will probably charge you a fair bit for that. So
yeah,
if you can do it yourself, save some pennies.
While we're on the timing chain side, the pulley at the bottom of for the
crankshaft.
Yeah, the crankshaft pulley. I can't remember the actual name of it.
No, I can't.
Like a dampened pulley, like a rubber bit. They can be perished.
Yeah.
And the rubbers can be split and causes all sorts of issues.
Is it a bug at get off as well?
Not that one.
No,
that
it's
one's
the
free.
Yeah.
And then while you're down there, you want to be looking out for your seal on the oil pump casing, which is behind the timing chain.
Yeah, it's fairly big seal, isn't it?
Yeah, that can be weeping. And the main seal on the gearbox side, which you can't see, but
yeah,
if you're doing the clutch or anything,
it's just worth just doing it, especially on high miles, because they do wear.
Yeah.
Superchargers.
Yeah, so supercharger can be missing oil.
Yeah.
Because they've never probably been serviced half the time. They're just dry, which causes a noisy supercharger because the bearings have gone, or Or they're just
knackered.
knackered.
They've just worn on the actual on the blades.
Won't be performing as good as.
Yeah, and it's yeah, you won't get whiny noises then.
The service is definitely on the to-do list if you own one of these and you haven't done it.
it's quite expensive for the oil, but it is just you can buy big jugs of it for not actually that much, so it's worth if you're just stocking up on it if you can, instead of just buying the little 10ml bottle or whatever it is. But we've actually got a video on a supercharged service. We can link it in.
Yeah. Well, they're known mainly for oil leaks everywhere, these cars at this age, so you've got things like the sump gasket, rocker cover gasket, oil filter housing gasket, all the gaskets. They're basically a lot of the gaskets.
It's you can buy a kit of them, can't you? And it's just do them. It's nice and easy.
The oil filter housing's a bit tricky 'cause it's down the back, but it is possible. Everything's possible, but gaskets is a main one to look out for.
We've done rocker, sump and oil filter housing on this, haven't we?
Yes.
Yeah,
we did sump. We did most. Sump's pretty easy.
Yeah, sump's nice and easy. That's pretty self-explanatory. It's just
rocker
oil.
cover is pretty easy, but the original nuts holding the rocker cover on, they can be really rusty, so you're best replacing them for stainless. You can get the kits on eBay or most of the mini specialist thingies online. What else? Some gasket oils.
Dipstick?
Yeah, dick snap.
Dick snap.
You'll see when you pull it out, it'll be like there's a hard point when you're pulling it in and out, and that's like catch. You'll see on your dipstick it could be cracked. So just check for that, because if you lose that in the bottom, then sump's going to have to come off anyway. Yeah. And
we had one in with another dipstick inside it, didn't we?
So someone has happened on one of ours that we've done work on, and there was just half a dipstick stuck in the bottom. But luckily it hadn't done any damage, had it?
No, that's it. And then another one's the snoot boots on the intercooler. So the two that either side of it, they just perish.
And the clamps aren't the best design,
but crap.
I mean, people cut like the clamp down to get it to go tighter. But usually you're best replacing the boot if you think you've got a leak there, air leak there.
You can get silicone ones pretty cheap as well, so you may as well just upgrade it whilst you do it rather than go OEM again. But
if you can, though, it's probably best not to buy the cheap ones.
No, not the super cheap ones. The MTC ones are alright, I think, aren't they?
I don't know, actually. Probably.
And then another one with them, again with perished stuff, you got VAT leaks. So there's the, is it the T-Maps sensor one?
Yeah, there's one that goes, obviously it's down the right hand side of the rocker cover. You'll see like a map sensor down there, which has a pipe going to your, which one is it? Is it
the one to the inlet?
It's the inlet to the supercharger. So the air filter to the supercharger has a little pipe there. They can split all the map sensor T-piece bit.
That actually goes itself, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're hard to get hold of as well, those pipes.
Is that the one we tried 3D printing?
Yeah. We tried to make one ourselves, but it didn't really work out. No. But you can get them. You can actually still get them from BMW.
Yeah.
Some have them in stock, some don't. Some say they can, some can't. But
a lot of people sting you as well because they're not anywhere on eBay. So when you buy them, it's like stupid money. Whereas if you go direct, it's not that bad. I forgot how much it was. It 15 quid, 10 or something like that.
Well, there's quite a few VAT lines around the engine to look out for. Issues, what do you call it? Yeah, symptoms of VAT leaks. Would be. Well, on mine, so my personal experience, I had my manifold, when I looked down when the engine was running, within seconds of it running, it was just glowing red hot. The engine, which obviously all the mapping and everything's not running right.
Yeah.
So that was glowing, and
rev hunting.
So engine's just not stable, it's not sitting at the right RPM. Obviously, when you're driving it might be sluggish, that could be from a vac leak, but it's worth checking them all or replacing the vac lines if you can.
Oh, another one with cherry manifolds, you block cat sometimes.
Yeah,
That's quite common on them.
Yeah, that is common actually, block cat.
So that's another one to look out for. But other than that,
yeah,
they're good little motors.
Yeah, you can. I mean, if you actually, there's like, if you Google, obviously the symptoms, there might be a few more in there. But
Yeah, these are just ones we've experienced.
We've actually experienced these, and I think a lot of owners experience all like the oil leaking and stuff like that. It's just.
Wasn't on one car.
I think it's rare. I think it's rare to find a Mini that's not leaking oil.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, we sat in one, but that's just because we've done everything.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we had no engine in it for a bit, so it was nice and easy. But gearboxes sometimes are a bit shit on them. But
yeah, I've heard a lot of like the first gen Minis with gearbox issues, but I haven't come across one
experienced it. So,
but they are apparently chocolate.
Yeah.
Maybe that's if you're putting a lot more power through. You've not got us to that point.
So you may as well spend 200 odd quid and get an LSD box just for a bit of peace of mind. But even them are classed as chocolate, aren't they? But it's just
it's the actual gears.
The actual gears themselves.
Synchros and yeah.
But we've never experienced one.
I don't know what else there might be. Nothing really interior wise.
Ooh, keys. Keys are annoying.
Yeah,
like
I've not actually had a Mini that the key. Oh yeah, the keys. It's usually the actual.
Go on. Swing it around.
The actual buttons, usually these missing, so you can't actually press the button. I mean, it's not doing anything when I press it, so sometimes does. They're always temperamental.
Yeah,
mine didn't work, and sometimes if it does work, one door won't lock or one will. And it's just old Mini things. A locking mechanism.
Yeah, the central locking in general is pretty crap on them.
Windows.
Yeah.
Them regs can be broke, or when you're opening and shutting your door, they're not dropping and opening. Stuff like that to look for. Sunroofs. We've got a sunroof model and they're usually broke, I think, but ours
works.
But,
so it's quite nice.
Yeah, it does actually work. It goes up, I think.
There she goes. Pimping.
There we go. I think that's pretty rare for that to happen.
Yeah, I think we got a good one there. But other than that, bypass valves.
Oh yeah, bypass valves.
Back towards the supercharger. Yeah, they're sticky. So you'll get a drop-in boost or all sorts. It's just you can tell.
You can tell usually. It's just.
I mean, I think they're pretty crap from factory, but. There's a guy on Facebook, Rooster Racing. He does them good. What was it like? 30 quid? No, 60
I
quid.
think they're 50 quid now.
50 quid, so they used to be 60, and he'd send him his and he'd give you a tenner back. But yeah, no, we've got one of them on this, and yeah.
His has like a stronger spring in it, so it'll hold the boost better.
Yeah.
So especially if you're looking at upgrading pulleys and stuff like that, then you want to upgrade your bypass valve as well to hold the boost.
Other than that,
I think that's about all you need to know.
On the positive sides, they are the most fun car to drive. The power's not great, but you don't need it. It's got enough.
It's more to come on this channel about
making it
and,
faster
and mending things. But yeah, I wouldn't let any of it put you off, especially if you can do things yourself.
If you're pretty handy yourself.
If you can't. If you're not great with cars, then you're best buying one that has had a lot of this stuff done. If not, then it's quite fun to work on.
Yeah, like everyone says they're a nightmare, we actually enjoy it. So it's it's a bit weird. Like once you get it in front end service mode, you're away. So that's just intercooler, radiator off, air pump up, all the front off.
Bumper off,
How quick did we do it in? We used to race us 7 minutes.
7 minutes. Well.
So it's we're getting quite good at that, but get used to it if you own one.
Yeah. We'll call it there, shall we?
Yeah, that's enough putting you off. But no, honestly, for the money, they're worth it.
Well worth it. And you got to remember, it's an old car, so it's always going to have its issues. Any car's going to have its issues. So yeah.
So buy one.
Buy one and bye. See you on the next one.
See you on the next one.